everyone and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com and I'm back with another tutorial from the Cocoa Confections theme selection of items that I picked out for the month of December 2021 with Eureka crystal beads. We'll be making some of these fabulous sparkly earrings with a Krakowski crystal pear-shaped or teardrop stone. And in addition to the brown and mauve colorway, I also have a couple of additional examples to give you an idea of what these would look like in some alternate colors. You can use the Rosetta 2-hole cabochon beads, you can use the Baroque 2-hole cabs, and you can even use just the plain, smooth, rounded 2-hole check glass cabochon beads. So definitely have fun trying out different things in different colors. I'll leave the links to everything you'll need today right down below the video. And I also have a coupon code, it's 10 Opal, that will save you 10% off your purchase of $50 or more at Eureka Crystal Beads. And of course, they've got all different colors of these beads as well, so have fun totally mixing that up. In addition to the 10x14 crystals and the 2-hole cabochon beads, we'll also be using some 3mm crystal bicones and some 11/0 and 15/0 round seed beads. Here's a closer look at the pair we're going to be duplicating today. Here's a look at the back. And to get started, all you'll need is a comfortable length of 6-pound FireLine or your go-to beading thread, and I'll be using a size 11 beading needle. We're going to create these earrings in 2 separate components and then join them together. So we're going to start out by making the top part of the earring, and at this point you can gather up your materials, thread your needle, and we will jump into this tutorial. Alright, the first thing you want to do is pick up a 2-hole cabochon bead, and I'm going to go directly through the hole that is on the left with the cabochon facing up, and pull this down, leaving yourself about a 6-inch tail, something you can weave in at the end. And then pick up 3 of your 11/0 seed beads, and then swing down through the hole that is on the right. Now pick up 3 more 11/0s and head back up through the hole that's on the left. And then go through the next 3 seed beads, just like that, and pick up 7 more 11/0s. Once you have those on, you can then go through the next 3 seed beads, and then you'll pick up 7 more round seed beads and head through all of these beads again. Just continue going around. Past where you started. And there's going to be a little bit of extra space around the cabochon bead. That's okay, and it's not going to be in a perfect circle, but this will all come together. And it doesn't really matter where you're coming out, just come out past where you started, make sure you've gone around all those seed beads again. Then pick up a bicone bead and skip the next seed bead and go through the next 4. We're going to make 4 corners with these. Now pick up another bicone, skip the next seed bead and go through the next 4. And repeat that 2 more times. So now you have something that looks like this. You've got a bicone on each corner. Continue sewing through the next bicone and the next 11/0, just one of them. And this is where we're going to start adding in some 15-0s. So we'll pick up 3 15-0s, skip the next 2 11-0s and go through that last 11-0 before the bicone. Then go through the bicone and the next 11-0. Pick up 3 15-0s. Skip the next 2 11-0s, go through the next, and then head through the bicone and the next 11-0, and just complete the other 2 sides in the same manner. So I'm going through the bicone, the next 11-0, then I'm going to go up through that first 15-0 that we get to. Then I'm going to pick up 3 more 15-0s and go through the third 15-0 of that group. Then pick up an 11-0, go through the bicone, pick up an 11-0, go through the first of the next 3 15-0s, pick up 3 15-0s, go through the third 15-0, and then once again pick up an 11-0, go through the bicone, pick up an 11-0, go through the first 15-0, and just complete that on your remaining 2 sides. Now we need to add an 11-0 right there before this bicone. And we're going to add in another 11-0 and head up through the next 3 15-0s of that peak. You can also continue sewing down the next 2 15-0s. Go through the next 11-0, the next bicone, and then we're going to just sew through those groups of 4 11-0s again to square that shape up even more. So not this one that's underneath the bicone, but go through the next 4 11-0s that are in this row underneath the peak. Turn your work. Skip over the next 11-0 right there under the bicone and go through the next 4 11-0s. Skip the next 11-0, go through the next 4. Continue on. And I'm going to go through the next 4 again. So that just tightens up and squares everything up before we move on. And to get my thread in position for the connection point, I'm going to head up through these 3 15-0 seed beads. There we go. So I'm coming out of the bottom of one of those, and I'm going to use that remaining thread at the last step where we pull everything together. All right, for the next component, we're going to be bezeling one of our pear-shaped stones, and we're going to start out with a ring of 30 11-0 seed beads. So go ahead and pick those up and string them down, leaving yourself about a 6-inch tail that you can weave in at the end. All right, with your 30 seed beads on, you can then take your needle and go back through all of those 30 seed beads again. And continue a few beads after your starting point. So you end up with a ring like this. And then in peyote stitch, we're gonna string on 2 more rows with these same 11-0 seed beads. So we'll pick up a bead, skip the next one, and go through the next. Pick up a bead, skip the next one, and go through the next. Pick up a bead, skip the next one, go through the next. And you get the idea. We're gonna do that all the way around. And then when we get to our last one, we'll go through our bead as normal and then step up to complete another row. Picking up a bead, going through the one that's sticking out, picking up a bead, going through the one that's sticking out. Just continue this until you finish this row. And then pick up your last one for that row and step up. So at this point, you should have something that looks like this. And now you want to do 2 rows of peyote stitch, just like we did, but now using the 15 O's. So go ahead and complete 2 rows using those, and then we will meet back and continue on with our next steps. All right, now you should have something that looks like this. The pink is going to be surrounding the front of the crystal, and it's a good idea to go around the 2 rows of peyote at the front again. So just go diagonally through every 2 pink beads. I already had gone through most of this, but this will just help to reinforce the front section. And once you've done that, you can then weave your way to the other side of the 11 O's. So I'm coming out here, I'm going to go down through the 11 O next to that, and I'm going to go up through this 11 O. So once you've done that, you can then take your crystal and place it face down, doesn't matter where, into that loop of seed beads. And just hold that with your thumb and your forefinger and start inserting 2 rows of peyote stitch with the 15 O's around the back. And just go around the whole thing, adding in a 15 O in each space, just like you did on the front, and tighten as you go so that this will start to stay in place. And I'm stepping up and going through the 11-0 and then through the first 15-0. And then with this next round of peyote using the 15-0s, it's really going to tighten up around our crystal. So it's still loose at the moment, but we're going to keep going. All right, so finish off the back bezzling, then hold this together with your thumb and your forefinger and really pull tight. And you'll see that that starts to hug that shape and even draws up the point without having to do anything extra. And now I'll just go through all of those pink beads again. I like to go through them 2 at a time, just like we did on the front. That's going to tighten this up even more. We're going to pull after each couple that we go through. All right, so pull that nice and tight, and now what you'll want to do is just weave in your tail thread and your working thread, and it's up to you if you want to make a half hitch knot or two to secure it, or if you just want to weave back and forth so many times that it's just not going to come apart. But bottom line is this part is pretty much done. You just need to get rid of those excess threads, and then we are going to put this whole thing together. All right, so now both the components are done. They just have to be brought together. And as you can see, I'm still coming out of the bottom of this pink bead, and I left my working thread intact. And just giving some attention to this teardrop. And by the way, you can just kind of smush these beads to make that look even more drop-like. And what you're going to be doing is connecting to this seed bead right here. So it is one of the 11-0s that's slightly indented to the back, meaning you're going to have one of the 15-0s that's slightly indented at the front as well. And it's going to be right behind the 15-0. That's where you're going to be connecting these components. So to do that, I'm coming out of the right-hand side of the top component. I'm going to pick up an 11-0, and I'm going to go directly through that 11-0 seed bead there at the top in the center and pull that down. And then we just need another 11-0 to go on the other side. So I'm going to pick one up and then go through the 15-0 that's at the peak, just through the other side of where we came out. And we end up with this. So it's starting to become connected, and we just want to go through that section 2 or 3 more times to make sure it's very secure. So just loop around all those beads again. And then I like to just go back up and sew in this working thread as you normally would with bead weaving, just hiding your thread and making a couple of half-hitch knots that you hide in between some beads. I'll make another one right there. Already woven in the tail thread, by the way, so that's gone. And then once you're happy with that, you can clip off the remaining thread. And all you have left to do is attach your ear wire finding, which can go directly through one of those points, just like that. And we'll close and tighten that up. And there you have it. And there are the completed earrings. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, feel free to give the video a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and share with your other bead loving friends. Also, feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know if you plan to give these earrings a try or anything else you'd like to say. Don't forget to check down below for the full list of materials and links, and you can use that coupon code 10OPAL to save 10% off your purchase of $50 or more at eurekacrystalbeads.com. And that coupon is good through the end of this month. Huge thank you to you all for being with me today. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and as always, happy beading.